So, in Stranger Things Season 5, it is revealed that they take pregnant women and they put demon blood in them, and that's how you get all the kids with the powers. So, did they do anything like that in real life? Did they do anything to people's blood? To children's blood? Not only. Did they? I remember a time when I said, stay home and take a bubble bath, and then stand in line and do what we say. And then as soon as people did it, they were like, oh boy, I think that was a mistake. And now, for some people, and not in Stranger Things, but in real life, their blood is different. And because I did episodes on Stranger Things before, and I talk about mass MK Ultra every time, but the one thing they neglected was that's how you make these test subject kids with the powers, is that they were given demonically infused blood of that one possessed guy that went into the upside down, and it's a portal to the abyss, because they call it that. They just call it the abyss, like the kid's writing on the window in a radio station, and he's like, this is the abyss and this is our world, and they're opening a portal to the abyss, and here's the CERN Hadron Collider and blood. And anyway, so it's a big plot point, because the Indian girl in 11, the one's called Kali, the Destroyer, and the other one's El for Elohim, and they're like, look, when we shut down this portal, when we close the portal to the abyss, you and I aren't coming back, because they will hunt them to the ends of the earth, and if they ever find them, they're going to use their blood to make more of these psychic portal opening kids. And in my other Stranger Things video, I said, you watching are the portal, and the people are portals, because this is like talking about demonic possession. When somebody gets possessed, you're kind of opening yourself as a portal for unclean spirits and demons and all that kind of thing. And that's all those Conjuring movies and all the things that built Blumhouse. It was all about demonic spirits and people getting possessed, right? That's kind of what put them on the map. So, Stranger Things is talking about tainting people's blood, whatever the heck they're doing. H-E-K. How do you spell that word? So, I think that may be part of my mass MK Ultra stuff that I talked about in Stranger Things. Other videos I have in Stranger Things, because I have a Stranger Things playlist, because I thought, well, everybody's making these Stranger Things videos, and I thought maybe that will get more, maybe it'll bring more traffic to my channel. And I'm like, no, so many people are doing Stranger Things videos, it probably has no effect at all whatsoever. But I haven't seen anybody else's video where they talked about the blood and what they did when they told everybody to stay home and stay away from each other, and you don't have to go to work, and we're going to set up your universal basic income living stipend, and we'll try that stuff out. And hey, guess what? Maybe you shouldn't eat meat, and all that stuff. So it just made me think of that time that we all lived through all over the whole planet, and a lot of people's blood has been changed by that. And forget about finding test subjects. If you create, like Hawkins goes into quarantine and everybody has to stay there and they can't leave. Sound familiar? And they have to get health checks, because that's what the girl on the radio station says. She's like, we have to get mandatory body cavity searches, or whatever she says, and then she gives a song for her girlfriend. And then it made me think about our world and what was done. And then there's the big reveal of, like, how do you make these demonically possessed children? Well, when they're in the womb, they put it in the blood of the mother inside the developing fetus or whatever. But do you really need to do that in the real world? No. you just tell everybody, hey, you gotta do it, and you have to do it. Children have to do it. You have to. Don't worry, we're gonna have comfort dogs on police with comfort dogs to comfort the children as they stand in line. And that was one of the crazy ones to me. I forget what they maybe they didn't call. Did they call them comfort dogs? They had some kind of word for it. I forget what it was called. But they had these dogs on. So if you tried to get in line, the dogs would chase you down and make you get back in line. It was an intimidation thing. But they said it was security dogs or something, comfort dogs for the children, because kids like dogs. So your kids have to stand in this line, and if any of them try and run away, we're going to release the hounds. Who needs Demogorgons to go do your bidding for you? We have dogs on a leash, and everybody loves dogs, right? So that was just some thoughts on that weren't included in any of my other videos on the mass MK Ultra stuff. So if you want to hear any more about Stranger Things, you can check my Stranger Things playlist, and get an earful of me talking about that stuff, and the horrible traumatizing children to get them to disassociate. Well, now you can just watch Netflix things and get traumatized and disassociate. You watch 13 Reasons. A lot of people's review of 13 Reasons on Netflix said, I know it's supposed to be anti-hurting yourself, but when you see it, it kind of gives you 13 ideas of how you could hurt yourself and why you would want to do it. And, there's a lot of other bad things and on Netflix. And I would consider that a form of mass MK Ultra. The CEO invested a lot in Netflix and pills because he said that's the future of Netflix. You take a pill, you watch Netflix, and you haven't even you basically get high and watch Netflix and pills, because he said that's the future. And it sounds like the future for traumatized people. It also sounds like how they told us, not that they'll get their way, but they said, was it Klaus Schwab is the guy that everybody attributes this to, and he says, in the future you'll own nothing, you'll eat the bugs, you'll live in a pod, and you'll be happy. And but before we get there, you kind of have to force behaviors, which is what Larry Fink from BlackRock said, and they handle 12.5 trillion in assets, multinationally. And at BlackRock, what they're telling people to do is that they're forcing behaviors whether you like it or not, and they manage a lot of assets of influential companies and organizations and whatever assets they manage. And what they believe in is forcing behaviors, which means we're going to do this whether you like it or not. So you're going to feel very uncomfortable, like when all the movies have the same message in them, and the audiences are saying we don't like it, and the majority of people are saying we don't like these things, and they're like, yeah, we don't care though, we're told by we've seen what BlackRock is suggesting and all the huge assets that they manage, so we're just going to do like BlackRock told everybody to do, and we're going to force behaviors. And you can see all kinds of behaviors being forced, like when they told us to stay home and take a bubble bath and then get in line but stay 6 feet apart from each other, and we're going to do stuff to you and you have to do it, you have to get it done, and your children have to get it done, and we'll bring guns and we'll bring dogs and you have to do it. And Stranger Things, Hawkins is under quarantine. And I know it's the 80s and how cool and rad the 80s is and everything, but just some things to think about, but maybe not too much. I don't want to bum you out. Maybe you can just go watch some actual 80s movies, and and keep in mind that nostalgia by definition is a form of mental derangement, so maybe you don't want to be too nostalgic about the past. But that's Stranger Things. Wormholes, worms, that's how we get here. Worm goes into a wormhole and then a man is born into the world. And Stranger Things has a lot of women can do it by themselves. We don't need men, and men are selfish and all this. They have the message. It's the same message. They're forcing behaviors through Stranger Things. What do you like? Oh, you like that? We're gonna wreck it. You like Star Wars? Here's the same message in Star Wars that's in Stranger Things. Here's the same message in Game of Thrones that's in Stranger Things and the 7, 8, 9 Star Wars. You like Indiana Jones? You don't need them. We're gonna have a girl do that now, and she's not even gonna have to be pretty. And you shouldn't be thinking about it like that. And you can just go through all your franchises and all. Look what they did to the Marvel heroes. The girls like Thor, so they're like, no, make him fat. We don't want women looking at him. He's a slob and he's a loser. And whatever you like, we're gonna force behaviors, and the behaviors we're forcing are be traumatized, disassociate, and nothing's gonna be any good. We want everybody to feel uncomfortable. It's a divide and conquer strategy. We want you to watch stuff, we want you to get programmed, but we don't want you to like it. We want you to feel bad. We don't want to give you any comfort. No comfort. Every movie you're going to see is, they want it to be, you see Superman, oh, it's going to have to be a reflection of the real world. But that's not the Superman movie we want. We want the fantasy Superman where the world's better and we can watch the good guys win, and we just want something like escapism. No, there's no escape. They don't want you to have escape. They want to force behaviors, and forcing behaviors means behaviors you don't want. So force them. You don't want it, you don't like it, you want it to stop. We can't stop because we're reprogramming you. And then people talk about Great Reset stuff or whatever. I don't even care about that. They want to open a portal to the abyss. Those are the cryptic statements that CERN made. So Stranger Things, they say it. They say we're opening a portal to the abyss, which is a reflection of real life, whether they intended it or not. Where CERN said, hey, we fired up the Hadron Collider. The first time an owl flew into it. Look up that video. An owl flies into the Hadron Collider and it breaks it. So we fired it up. It worked this time, and something may have come through. Come through what? I thought you guys at CERN were making mini recreations of the Big Bang. What did you open up and what came through? You guys being funny again? But also reminds me of Stephen King's The Mist, and we know that Stranger Things is influenced by Stephen King stuff. Why do all the superhero movies have portals in them? Is the thing I want to know. They didn't make any superhero franchise movies that aren't about portals to other dimensions and multiverses. Even when they made cartoon Spider-Man, it's called Spider-Man Into the Multiverse Part 1, 2, 3. Why? Why do all the Marvel movies, all the MCU stuff, all the phases, they're all predicated on portals to other dimensions and stuff comes through. And a lot of times it's mostly evil. What's K-pop Demon Hunters about? There's our world and there's a demon world, so they have to use the power of their voices to seal the barrier between the demon world and the human world, because if the demons take over, they're gonna eat our souls, like Evil Dead, where they open a portal to the world of the dead and Ash goes into the past and he time travels and demons from other dimensions come into our world. So you could just keep going through, you know what I mean, like the biggest movies in the world, the big blockbuster movies, even the last Indiana Jones movie that sucked and lost money and everybody hated that saw it. It was about a time portal thing, right? Forgive me, I haven't seen Indiana Jones, but I know it has to do with, like, I don't know, Alexander the Great's time machine or whatever the hell it was. I didn't see it, but that's what it was about. So yeah, what's all this stuff about opening portals? I mean, I know it's an idea, but all the biggest things are all about opening portals to another world, and something bad comes through. All the Avengers Infinity Wars were about portals. All the DC Zack Snyder stuff is about the Justice League is all about portals, and they haven't stopped. They have the new James Gunn Superman, and it's about portals and multiverses and pocket universes. The Fantastic Four is about opening portals and multiverses, and Galactus comes through, and the Silver Surfer, all that stuff. And so Stranger Things is a big popular thing. What are they trying to normalize? They're trying to normalize, like, we want people to know about the idea of portals, and that we did stuff to people, to your blood. So I'm gonna go now. So what do you think about all that? I'm sure I'm forgetting like 5 cool things, but I wanted to talk about the blood play. It's a big deal in the Bible. There's a whole section of Leviticus which is called like laws of blood or something like that, and then there's another one, laws of bodily fluid section, which would include blood's included in it. Maybe it's the laws of bodily fluids or bodily discharges or something like that. But anyway, in the short of it, in the Bible, what it says in the Old Testament when the law is being laid down: no blood play, no drinking the blood of any living thing while its lifeblood runs through it. That means vampire. And no mixing of blood, and if you kill an animal, don't drink the blood, spill the blood away, and all this stuff that you can't. It's mostly like God saying, don't do stuff with blood. Don't do anything. No. I said no doing anything with blood. And in Stranger Things, that's how they make 11s and all these kids with powers, is they taint their blood. Could you think of a thing that happened in real life where some people speculate that our blood may have been, maybe not mine, maybe not yours, but that people we care about and people we never met, that maybe their blood's been tainted? And why? And how? Is that part of mass MK Ultra? I guess you'll have to watch somebody else's videos who are more informed, if you can find them. And that's going to be enough from me. Here it is for you. What do you think? I have a lot of videos about this stuff, over 100, so maybe you want to check around and find more stuff that you might like about the horrible things that are done to us and what you can do about it, which is praying to God and don't let him do shit to you. Anyway, Stranger Things season finale, series finale, it's probably going to be so good. You're going to love it. It's great. I have more Stranger Things season 5 part 2 stuff. I watched on Friday the 26th, I watched other people's reviews in the evening, and I liked them. I saw a lot of people didn't like it, and then I wish I remembered the guy's name. There was this one reviewer that really liked it, and he's such like a kiss ass. He's like one of those guys that wishes he was a shill, like, yeah, give me money because I'll just say anything, and whatever it is that you made, I love it, it's great, and he'll tell you why, which is he just watches other people's videos like I did, complaining about it and hating it, and he's like, oh, I don't care what they say, I love all those things that the whole world that's seen Stranger Things hates. So it's got an anti-natalist message. I don't think I talked about that before. There's this one scene where there's like the anti-engagement, where he's gonna give her a ring, but he's like, hey, I was gonna ask you to marry me, but obviously you can't, you hate me and I don't like you either, really, so let's climb into it, we're gonna die anyway, so let's tell each other that we don't really love each other and not get married. And he throws the ring, and then she's like, yeah, I was talking to Steve and he said he wanted to have 5 kids, and she's like, I don't, fuck that, I don't want to have 5 kids. And that's the anti-natalist message. There's also, I wanted to talk about the Antifa kids type message. Remember, there's an Indian girl that everybody hates, and people try to make excuses for her in their videos where they like Stranger Things and it doesn't work, and they don't even really like her. I think it was great writing and blah blah that they found a way to use the character. I'm like, no, you're not supposed to like her. By design, that character isn't supposed to be liked. It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable, like J.J. Abrams said when he put out that Star Wars number 7, and he said, I'm gonna make a lot of people uncomfortable. And then a lot of other directors said similar things. You're not gonna like this because BlackRock handles assets for the movie studio that I work for, and BlackRock believes in forcing behaviors, so you're gonna be uncomfortable because we're gonna force behaviors. Then behaviors we're enforcing is shit you're not gonna like in movies across the fucking board. So Stranger Things, I love that people don't like it, but it's also sad because people want to connect around common cultural phenomenon, and it's a divide and conquer strategy. Some people will like anything and they'll make excuses to like it because those are really the depressed people. The people that are more healthy, I would say, are willing to complain about things, and they'll tell you, I don't like it. But other people just, like, this is a herd mentality. Just know, like, whatever they give us, it's great. I don't want to think about how that there are bad men destroying the earth or whatever. And I love it. Frankly, whatever it is, just, it's whatever. So they have the Antifa girl. I don't know what else to call her. Just a social justice warrior, Indian girl, and they shave her head too, because she had like a big head of hair and like a mohawk, and she's a murderer. They go around killing people. So now she's like, 11, we've got to go sewer slide bombers on this. And can I even say the word sewer slide? Should I just call it, 11, you and I have to shuffle ourselves off this mortal coil in a lesbian blood pact because we're sisters, and all sisters are besties, and the world's just going to keep getting harder and it won't get better for us. So it would be better if we just, send ourselves down into Allah in hell, or Muhammad, or whatever you believe. And it's, I don't know if they'll do that. I don't even know if I'll see Stranger Things. I don't have New Year's plans, so I don't plan on being at anybody's house at midnight where we're going to be watching Stranger Things, unless I get invited to, hey, we're doing a New Year's Eve Stranger Things marathon or whatever. I don't foresee that happening. So my predictions for the end, who gives a shit? Fuck it. I just like complaining about it, and I'm sorry that I said fuck to you if you don't like that. Pretend I didn't say it. I have the opening the abyss. I did another video where I talked about Stranger Things season 5 part 2, and they're just calling it the abyss. They want to open the portal to Abaddon or however you want to pronounce it. So Stranger Things is about opening the portal to the abyss so that demons can come through and merge into our world. Do you realize that that's biblical? Do you realize that's the public statements that CERN made? CERN, probably named after Cernunnos, which is like the horned god, which is just basically Satan. That has a statue of Kali, the destroyer. Oh, that's the other thing. The Indian kid's name is Kali the destroyer. So L's named L, like for 11, but that also means Elohim. So, and you can go look up what that means. So, and Kali is Kali the destroyer from Hindu mythology. So probably she's gonna want to, like, you know what I mean? Like, here's the Elohim and here's Kali the destroyer. So that should give you some idea about what they're gonna do with that angry SJW girl, and how she was dressing down Hooper and everything. And she's like, I just want to tell you what. And he's like looking down at her, and she's like looking up at him, and she's like, you're not so great, and I know everything, you don't know anything, or whatever she said to him. And I just want to get this out of my system. So anyway, the blood, that was the other thing. They use the blood. They want to inject the blood into pregnant women to make more test subjects like 11 and Indian girl and the guy that became Vecnar and all those other kids that are dead that were part of the MK Ultra stuff. So tainting the blood to give them basically tainted demon blood. Does that sound like something that may have gone down for real, where all over the world they told people to stay home, take a bubble bath, and then get in line, and we have comfort dogs on leads, so if your children try to get out of line, the dogs will hunt them down and make sure they stay in line, for comfort for children. And then they made people do stuff. They made you do it, and a lot of places they said you have to do it. They made children do it, and they tainted a whole bunch of children's blood in Stranger Things. But I was thinking about stuff that went down in real life. Did they do that in real life? Did they do a thing where they kind of like did something to, like, you know, globally or whatever shape you think the earth is or whatever? It doesn't even matter. I'm not even on the map, okay? But I'm just saying, look at my views. So did they do that? Did they do something? Because I have a pretty yappy dentist, and he was complaining about what they did to people. And he said, they have AIDS now. And I was thinking about something else. Then there was the 23andMe stuff, where they wanted to find out about people's genetics or whatever that was about. And then in Stranger Things, they're injecting pregnant women's blood with demon seed, or demon blood or whatever, and to change them so that they would have powers. Do you think that they would ever try to do a thing like that in the real world, where they would try and make people like unwitting participants in child human sacrifice by somehow, I don't know how the heck HEK they would do that, but by somehow tainting a lot of people's blood on the whole plane of the flat earth with the ice walls or whatever you want to believe. Does it really matter? Yeah, it matters, whatever the lie is. I want to know what the truth is. But the point isn't about the shape of the earth. The point is about blood. Alright? Because messing with blood is a thing that's in Leviticus. It's the laws of blood and... what is it? Well, there's laws of blood or something like that, and there's the laws of bodily discharge, which that's a whole other video. That's about dreams too, wet ones. We're talking about, there's all kinds of rules about that stuff. And blood and women's monthly blood, but also don't drink the blood of any living thing while its lifeblood runs through it. So that means don't drink blood of anything, spill it away, but also don't drink blood if you're drinking it out of something that's alive, which is vampirism. So in the Bible, in Leviticus, it says no vampire shit, no drinking blood, no mixing blood. We're not supposed to, you know, like they call it blood brothers, where you cut each other's hands and you shake, and then you're mixing the blood. We're not supposed to do that stuff. And there's no bloodletting. There's a whole bunch of like laws of blood and what you're not. And most of what God says, to just keep it short, is He says no. Don't do anything with blood. Just stay away. Spill it away. Don't let the dogs have it. Spill it away. Cover it with dust or whatever. I can't remember. There's a lot of stuff in the Bible about no blood play, in short. So there has been a lot of blood play. We went into lockdowns, and then they started messing with it. So it makes me think of Stranger Things, and like other videos I have where I talk about mass MK Ultra, but I have not ever before talked about mass MK Ultra and like literally messing with our blood. And I remember people that had this done to them, and I've heard multiple accounts in real life where people said, yeah, as soon as I was getting ready to have it done, or as soon as they did it, I knew it was a mistake. Even though they're not curious and they don't talk about the kind of stuff that I talk about on this channel, I'm not interested in it. When I start talking about these types of things, they get alarmed and they're like, I don't want to hear about that shit. So then I keep my mouth shut and I be quiet and I save it for YouTube videos. But I've heard it a bunch. I used to go to Orthodox church, and I heard people say, yeah, I think it was a mistake. And I heard people near and dear to me that had that done. And one of the most troublesome accounts that I heard was just directly, somebody said, as soon as I had it done, as soon as it was being done to me, I knew it was a mistake. I knew it. And I agree, it was a mistake. But some people were very brave, and they did it like, no, I have to help. I'm a responder, so they said, if I want to help people, I have to do this. So they did it. Some people quit their jobs over this. They're like, I'm not doing it. Some people, and you know, like depending on what country it was in, they made people do it. And I've seen some awful videos. You know, it was terrible for Australia what they did to people there. Have you ever seen videos of what happened in Australia when like forcing people to, you know, get stuff done? whatever the heck HEK they were doing. So that's in Stranger Things. I didn't talk about it before. And yeah, I mean, maybe that's, I think it's significant. I haven't seen any videos that talk about this. Like, I haven't seen any videos where Stranger Things talk about MK Ultra and mass MK Ultra and tainting our blood. But they did, you know, like all over the whole world, whatever shape that is. So, what do you think about this? Maybe you know an interesting video that you could link in the comments. Because sometimes there's, well, I mean, I like the comments that I get. It doesn't have to be a lot of them. And sometimes there's cool links in the comments. And so maybe, you know, I haven't heard anybody talk about the blood stuff in Stranger Things, other than, you know, like in X-Files way, like, yeah, they're using the blood to make more psychic kids or whatever by tainting their blood of the pregnant women. And, you know, of course I'm talking about Stranger Things, but in the other videos I talk about, you know, like messing with the air, messing with the water and the environment, like the end of season 4, which is like kind of a cool ending, where like looking up into the sky and this like fallout from hell, the abyss is like raining down onto the earth, and then they don't really follow through on it. And it's really lame in Stranger Things. They have a military compound in a place that was so dangerous you couldn't survive very long there, and one kid gets eaten to death by bats, and now they have a compound there, and, you know, guys are just like taking leaks in the most dangerous nether region or whatever. Yeah, it's stupid. It sucks. That's it. That's my, like, I'm hoping it's the last thing I have to say about Stranger Things. I did a bunch of Stranger Things videos because I had seen some of it on Thanksgiving, of the end of it, and then I saw on Christmas Day in the evening. I stayed late to watch this stupid thing. It was like 11:30 after midnight I watched it. And then I have to go home, and it's not worth it. I want to see stuff too. I want to see something that's cool. I don't watch anything anymore because everything sucks. I want to see a thing that I like, and I'm not opposed to, you know, okay, there's a thing that a lot of other people like. I want to like something like that too, but Stranger Things sucks. It's kind of crappy. And it's just the same message. Like, are people even being deceived by this? I don't think so, because a lot of people's reviews were just complaining about, like, you know, they didn't say it this way, but I'll say it the way that it is. Men stand down, women do everything, girl boss, men and women don't need each other, don't have kids, and we're gonna taint your blood. And we're gonna open the portal to the abyss. CERN made weird statements. I said this in all the other videos pretty much, where CERN made weird statements where they said we fired up the Hadron Collider and something came through. CERN said they were making mini recreations of the Big Bang. What came through? A wormhole? I got something for a wormhole. A worm. That's how we get here, right? A worm goes into a wormhole, and then a man is born into the world. Whatever. So is Stranger Things disclosure about things to come? I would say it's talking about things that they already did. They already messed with a bunch of kids' blood. I remember seeing billboards. Hey, it's safe. Get your kids in that fucking line and make them do it. Make them do it. Religious exemption. What's your religion? Are you Muslim, Hindu? Okay, maybe you guys can have the exemption. What, a Christian? No, you got to do it. That's the blood we want to ruin. If you're some other kind of nonsense religion that distorts, you know, that doesn't put Jesus at the top because it's distorted. All those religions do have something to do with Jesus at some point. Even the Indians and the Gurus guy, they talk about him as like, oh yeah, he's a really important guy, but they don't put him at the top. Instead, they have some blue avatar devil being with 6 arms and all this bullshit. He just needs blood. Does that sound like God? No. So anyway, Stranger Things, H.P. Lovecraft stuff. Vecnar. It just looks like naked Swamp Thing. Like Swamp Thing's green. If he took his plants, all the foliage died, he would just be. It looks like Swamp Thing and Groot, right? Whatever. He sucks. Stranger Things is stupid. It's pretty lame. And you like Stranger Things, we're gonna wreck it. That's everything. Like, a lot of people are watching this. How can we piss them off and bum them out? We gotta force behaviors, and forcing behaviors means making people do shit that they don't want to do. We have to force it, and we here at BlackRock believe in forcing behaviors. So we have to force you. Do you understand that it's a thing? Like, I feel like I'm overstating it, but I'm okay with overstating it. You don't like it, you don't want it. That's what we want to do. Do you understand? We want you to not like it. We don't want you to have anything to like. We want you to disassociate. Like the characters in Stranger Things. It's a divide and conquer strategy. And some people are agreeable wimps, and they'll just go along with anything. Oh, what is it? It's great. Yeah, I loved it. And they really do. They believe it. They're traumatized. They're trauma bonding with Stranger Things, and they just want to love it no matter what. You remember that you liked Stranger Things when it came out because Stranger Things, a whole bunch of it came out before lockdowns, and there's nostalgia of a better time before all the cell phone shit and the internet was ruining everything. And kids could ride around on bikes, and the world was like, depending on where you lived, like a little bit safer, and you could eat junk food because we didn't know that it was poison. Now we know. But people just, whatever, I can eat, just eat whatever I want. It's good, it tastes good. And then, we didn't know that it was all fucking poison. And then when they found out it was poison, they didn't stop. They just put more, they're like, no, it's poison, just put more garbage in the food. Here, eat brand name crap products, you're gonna die. Here's the end of Stranger Things. Hooper has a heart attack. And so right before him and Winona Ryder is gonna have a wedding, they got that from the end of the Roseanne Barr show when they killed Dan, and then Roseanne had the blowing guys at a truck stop or however that. Remember that? Remember Roseanne? So I'm gonna go now. You like Star Wars? We're gonna wreck it. You like Game of Thrones? We're gonna wreck it at the end. You like Indiana Jones? We're gonna wreck it at the end. You like Stranger Things? We're gonna wreck it. I'm sorry, we have to force behaviors. This is who manages our assets, probably. So, and they said that we have to force behaviors, so that means that we have to do the things that you don't like, and we're just gonna keep doing it even if it loses money, even though Netflix isn't losing money. I mean, the reason that all your favorite characters in Stranger Things that are ruined and that none of them need each other anymore, even though it's about a group of friends, and all the women are autonomous bio units and self-sufficient substances that nobody needs a man. Nobody needs a man, right? Bullshit. Even though men are like, without them, what are you gonna do? It'll be great. How'd that work out for Wonder Woman, that lonely old hag? That 200-year-old bitch, and she's still stupid. Hi, I'm Gal Gadot. I'm Wonder Woman. I wonder whatever. I don't know. I was trying to figure out a joke there. Anyway, she's dumb. That's why the first Wonder Woman movie worked, because she was playing a fish out of water. Hey, we have this woman, we have Princess Israel, and she's kind of dumb. How are we going to make this work? Well, make her a fish out of water. She doesn't understand the world. And then they did Wonder Woman 2, and it sucked because then you saw, like, wait, she's not a fish out of water anymore. She's just not a good actress. And the woman playing her is kind of dumb. And she can't sing. Remember, you hear her sing in Imagine, and she talked about when Notre Dame was burning down. She said, oh, this is a blessed day. Shut up. I don't care about Notre Dame. I just don't like. I don't like actors and actresses. I know it's not right. It's a bias. Do you see that poor girl? She got so skinny she's looked like a boy now. The girl that plays Nancy. What happened to her face, man? She looks like she's stayed in upside down too long. You know what I mean? It's not a special effect. What's happening? Why are they going too skinny with all these people again? The last Stranger Things I saw, I was like, wow, it looks like they're all getting skinnier. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's the stress or whatever. Hey, they're living under lockdowns in the 1980s, and they never even explain it. Like, there's not even... I mean, granted, I didn't see all of it. Maybe they had a newscast that explained what it was like. They did a radio station. Hey, everybody, you have to have body cavity searches, and I'm a lesbian. Here's a song for my girlfriend. And that's the most you find out about what's happening. Hey, a portal to the abyss was opened, and we still want to give you 80s nostalgia vibes. So, like, nobody's thinking about it, really. Maybe that's how they wipe people's minds. Could be. Forget about it. They opened a portal to the abyss. It's no big deal. Here you go. Have some bugles. Have microwave popcorn. Forget about it. When microwave popcorn first came out, when it first came out, it didn't work so great, and people were weary of microwaves, and there was a lot of countries that said, well, no, we researched the technology, and we're not letting anybody have microwaves because they're harmful. It's harmful radiation. And now that's just a microwave. Like, you could go probably buy one at a Goodwill, and if there's something to not buy at a Goodwill, it's probably an old used microwave. I don't know. I'm just bitching. It's gone on too long. So I thought this would be a short video. I just wanted to complain, publicly on YouTube. So blood. What'd they do? Drink the blood, Michael. Drink the blood. I don't want to drink it. Okay, come here. I got something for you. Don't worry. You're now controlled by the head vampire. We've re-nephilimized your blood. Yeah, we put demons in your blood. Like, do you guys see Stranger Things? That was disclosure for everybody. And we did that to you guys. Now you know. Maybe you're gonna have powers and abilities if you just let the demons take over for a little bit. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, I had like three stupid messages and of like notes. I was like, yeah, I want to do another Stranger Things. And it says antinatalism, The Ring, because that was the antinatalism moment. There's probably others I missed them. Well, being lesbians and gay, that doesn't equal kids. You gotta adopt. That's fine. It takes somebody else's kids that nobody wants and confuse them. Nephilimize the blood and opening the abyss. Those are my notes. What a waste of my life. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna have a better life. Stranger Things is over. Yay! On to the next stupid bullshit thing.